unfiltered, that unfiltered opinion you see we're so censored nowadays on just about every platform. Everybody expects you to
for sure.
operate to a certain standard, and it's like, I always told people, like, if you're coming to my stream to hear a sermon, you came to the wrong stream. You go to church on
Absolutely.
Sundays if you want that. You
For
ain't getting that
sure.
here.
Only
So it
time,
was
only
like,
time I have that on this podcast is when I'm talking about the Cowboys. I let them have it every week. So
oh, right, yeah, for sure. So it was just, like, I mean, it went well. Podcast was always something that I wanted to do, and like I said, I always wanted to do a podcast 5 years ago. So it was like right at that time. I just didn't get to the point of getting to where you're at of setting it all up, because it took a lot to go. I mean, you're what, almost 60 episodes in? I mean,
almost 60, bro.
that's
Almost 60.
incredible,
Yeah,
man. Congrats.
I
That's
appreciate
awesome,
that.
man. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a
it's
lot.
got to
It's been
start
a learning
somewhere, right?
curve for sure. It's been a learning
Yeah.
curve because on some, like, the editing was off, or volume, like audio levels were off, and you hear me but you don't hear other person. I'm like, well, I can't just not post it, and so I had some issues, but now I've got it for the most part down for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, hopefully you can hear me okay. I don't know if the mic's too
Yeah,
far
no, you're
away,
good.
if it's too loud. Okay.
Biggest thing with podcasts, I mean, it does really not a it's not a lot of time used. Like, you may have a lot of time at night to where you could just do it like once or twice a week and kind of transform your,
Right.
whoever you're using for streaming, be like, hey, I'm not doing streaming anymore, but I am doing a podcast. We can, kind of transfer them over.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's I definitely think you got a good thing going, and I mean, I think, especially with the streaming, you got to find your niche, right? You got to find that thing
Yeah.
that works for you. And I think the one thing you'll find out, if you haven't found it out already, is you'll find one video, one podcast episode, something that clicks, and you'll find that thing in there that you're talking about that just seems to, like, hey, everybody in the world talks about sports, but I like the way this guy talks about sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, just
for
kind of
sure.
how he
Yeah.
says it. I wasn't the only dirt streamer, on iRacing. It was just a lot of the other guys on there were like, oh crap, oh darn it. And I was like, fuck you. Like that kind of, it was just a different way I went about things with an uncensored approach. And a lot of your dirt racing fans, man, they're not tender folks. So they like to see that kind of, hey, I can relate to this guy. He's being real. And
Yeah.
it was nice to see that still goes a long way with a lot of people.
For sure. I've been trying to get Brandon Overton on the pod for absolute ever, bro. I can't get in touch with the
Dude,
bastard.
so dope.
My
That'd be
brothers
so dope.
are best friends with him, but I can't get in touch with the bastard. I know it would be an amazing podcast. I haven't been able to get him on there yet.
You should try Fergie too, Chris Ferguson.
I should.
I
I
know.
feel like if I get Fergie on there, that's when Brandon would be like, all right, I got to get on there now.
See, and that's what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to, like, as I was kind of transitioning, because it's not even, I love racing still. It's just the problem with that fucking game. I don't know if I'm even allowed to cuss on here, so if I'm not, I'm sorry.
You are.
But,
Yeah. Let it loose.
But the thing about that game, man, is these people just, everybody's like, oh, it's a simulator, and it's like, yeah, but no one's simulating real life. I mean, and that's kind of the point. You guys are just wrecking people for no reason, taking an hour to finish a race. And a lot of my content was being able to engage with the chat. And I can't do that when I'm glued in here running, laps under caution. So it took so much time to put in the content. That was just kind of like, man, once I met, Fergie, and he started actually coming and hanging out in the streams. That one night he shared my stream on his page and it blew up. I had like 300 live viewers, and I think my biggest stream night, I had a goal of like 500 stars or whatever, or 50,000, whatever it ends up being, to be $500. And I would always set every stream I would do 10,000 stars. It was $100. Star equals a penny. That's how they did that.
Yeah.
And I did one night, I'm like, screw it, it's like New Year's Eve or something. It was like December 30th. I'm going to throw up a big one because I know I was going to be streaming for about 4 to 5 hours. I knew I was going to be drinking. So I'm like, fuck it, let's just have a party tonight. And I started doing, like, for every $10 donation, I'll do a little airplane bottle of Fireball, throw it back. And
Jesus Christ.
right when the stream started, some dude donated $100 right off the rip. So that's the whole pack. I had a little 10-pack. I was like, okay, well, here's the thing. I said, I'm not doing all these right at once. Otherwise, there will be no stream. So I was like, I'm going to have like cool down periods, right? So I'm going to do a shot, and then it's going to be like 20 or 30 minutes, and I'll do another one. And like all of a sudden, like I think it was like Fergie shared my stream, and it all started from Bud and Daryl. You know, I mean, they shared my shit out to his page.
Yeah.
When they came in, and it blew up. Or actually, Bud and Daryl came in from the share on Fergie's page. Fergie came in, shared my stream to his page, and that's how I met Bud and Daryl. So it was kind of weird how it all worked out. And that night, man, it went nuts, and it ended up being like I was getting donations so fast that it actually froze my screen. And my chat was frozen. And I ended up getting that night I got off stream, and I made, it was like $1,190 or something in donations in 4 hours.
Jesus.
So, dude, it was incredible. And it was just like, I never thought, you know, even when I started streaming, I never thought it would get to that, you know, that point. It was kind of surreal, you know, having, at one point I had 60 subscribers, so 60 people paying $5 a month. I was making on average about $50 to $100 a stream, times that by 4 or 5 times a week. You know, I think in my first year streaming from, and I didn't start till May. My first year streaming from May to December, I made 14,000. So it was, I mean, that's not even a full year. So in the 2.5 years that I actually had a substantial income, it was like, I don't know, 28,000, I think. So it was, you know, 2.5 years, 28 grand playing video games.
That's not bad at all.
Dude, it's wild. You know, like
You can't complain about that shit.
I was just trying to play. So a lot of people would be like, man, why would you, you know, I got almost 6,000 followers on my Facebook page. You know, it's just like, I got a family that means more than anything to me. And,
yeah,
you know, it was just,
I understand that completely.
So much time, you know, it was like, I'm not missing a single second of, you know, the time with the boys and everything they got going on to, you know, just play video games, right? You know, so it was just kind of time to shut her down, you know, that kind of thing. So
I understand.
Awesome.
Yeah. So all the people listening, thank you. Welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Ryant Lambie. He also goes by Beard. Is it BeardFX or Beard Gaming FX?
It started off as just BeardFX. Now it's BeardFX Gaming. I mean, pretty much whatever, you know. BeardFX is what it's always been, you know, from inception, basically.
Yeah. Tell the people a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from.
Again, like he said, Ryant Lambie, BeardFX is the gaming handle. Was from Central Illinois, and we just moved here in January to Tennessee, near Nashville. Been here about 10 months, and currently right now my profession is a project manager for a countertop company, so commercial project manager. So it's a good gig, good company, and free time is just watching my boys play sports, man. I mean, that's the, you know, when I'm not watching them play sports, I'm watching, you know, sports on TV, you know how it is. So it's about it, man.
All right. Can we, do you mind if I start with a new segment brought to you by Augusta Hemp Company?
Let's do it.
All right. So this one, and please chime in as you will. So this one is called the Dumbass of the Week. We do this every week. Usually I do it on my college football, you know, week, whatever update. But today we're doing it with Beard. I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about it and see what his ideas was on it and whatnot. And it's going to go, the Dumbasses of the Week goes to the entire Browns fan base. Reason being, I don't know if anybody watched that game. I don't know if anybody watched that game with the Browns, but Deshaun Watson did have a non-contact injury where he tore his Achilles. And in Browns fashion, the Browns fans cheered, and the chant was, "You deserve it," and a bunch of claps in the back. And they were cheering and booing, and they were happy with the fact that Deshaun Watson got injured. And my biggest takeaway from this is not only is the fan base of the Browns so obnoxious and ignorant. They had a guy, yes. Does he have a lot of controversy outside of football? Absolutely. But this guy came in. He's been there for spring, been there for summer, put everything on the line to come play football for the Browns, the worst organization to ever be in all of football. Any community college is probably better than their organization. They've had over 30 quarterbacks since 2000. Probably just as many coaches when it comes to interim or head coaches. And not only did they scream and shout when he got hurt, but they cheered and they loved it. And this is going to be the dumbass of the week, the Cleveland Brown fans. The main reason is this man is literally putting his life on the line, body on the line, getting hit every play, playing for a shitty organization that in the Browns. Your best player is on defense. Nick Chubb literally just came back. They're trying to do good things in the Browns organization. Obviously, they can't do it because in Cleveland, for some reason, y'all are just shit. But yeah, I thought it was disgusting the fact that they did that. I understand that Deshaun Washington has a lot of off the field issues, but y'all brought him on. Y'all are the ones that brought him on, and I remember Browns fan being so excited that y'all brought him on. And then as soon as he doesn't play well, the team doesn't get the same type of progress y'all wanted. You boo. You do these disgusting things, and that's why the Browns will never be good. Do you have anything to say about that, Beard?
I mean, dude, you pretty much hit it nail on the head. I actually didn't get to watch the game. My boys had flag football Sunday, and I seen the alert come over to my phone, and then I started seeing all these reels and TikToks and things saying, what trash the fans are for doing what they did, and how they celebrated him getting hurt. And I mean, I get it, the dude's kind of a dirtbag, right? But he's out there, he's still putting in the work, getting a $230 million guaranteed contract.
Yep.
So a lot of these guys you see in the NFL, they get paid, they decrease, and I mean, you've seen his play's been worse, but he's had some time off, and he kind of brought that upon himself with the shit he did with the Texans. I mean, he kind of was like, I'm too good, I want big money, and it was his time to back it up. But I mean, look, I'm a Bears fan. I come from a team that is historically hating on their players regularly.
Absolutely. Same with the Cowboys, for sure.
There's nothing more disgusting than cheering an injury on for somebody on your team. Now, it's just I mean, you could see the emotion that dude's face, crying as he's coming off the field. Does that look like somebody that's upset that he's about to, what was the cap hit this year, next year, $72.9 million or something?
Yeah.
So does that look like somebody that's, I'm not going to get paid? No, he's going to get paid. It's guaranteed. He's upset that he can't go out there and ball for his team. And
yeah. Next 2 years, he'll be making $46 million.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's
46 mil.
It's crazy. And to me, that didn't look like a guy that was upset, shit, I'm hurt, I'm not going to get paid. That looked like a guy that said that, I love this game, I love these guys, I love this locker room, I love this team, and now I can't be out there going to war with my boys every weekend. And
absolutely,
yeah, that team's sorry. I mean, it is.
Oh,
and a
for
lot
sure.
of that came from his play, but you knew they were selling out as soon as they traded Amari Cooper. You knew it was we ain't gonna make it, and what's the dude to do? So I thought it was a very classless act by the Browns, and but unfortunately the fans are what pay the contract. So what can you do, right?
Yeah, no, and whenever you have Jameis Winston of all people speaking out and saying, "Hey, we probably shouldn't be saying the things we've said," as Browns fans, you're doing something wrong. When you talk to somebody who also had issues in the past with sexual misconduct as well as stealing crab legs from a Kroger nearby, and he's speaking out against what Cleveland Brown fans are doing, obviously you may not be in the best trenches when it comes to Browns fans. But yeah, I thought it was pretty classless, but I mean, I don't really expect much more from Cleveland fans. I'm going to be honest with you, even if Dak Prescott went down for the Cowboys, there would be no cheering or anything. And our fans absolutely hate Dak Prescott. I don't know if you've seen the discord between Cowboys fans and Dak Prescott, even though Cowboys fans...
I know I hate Dak Prescott.
Even though Cowboys fans and everybody, if you look at stats since 2022, there's only two quarterbacks with similar numbers, and that's Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes. Anyways, though.
Yeah.
He does
So
he
you
make
get
the
to the
best
playoffs.
decisions? No, but this has been another episode or another another thing with the Browns where you kind of it makes sense. You see Cleveland Browns, you see Cleveland. I mean, look what they did to LeBron whenever he left. Obviously, they welcomed him
Exactly.
back, and then obviously the same thing with Deshaun Watson. I guarantee you when he comes back, maybe I don't know how the Achilles injury is going to go. Used to be, he'd be out for like a year and a half, but you saw what happened to Aaron Rodgers. So maybe he'll be back sometime next season, but guarantee you they cheer when he gets back, and that's just what the Cleveland Browns do.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the LeBron thing. I mean, it was just, I didn't like how LeBron left. That was kind of my end of liking LeBron. I still respect him as a player. I can't stand him. But I didn't like how he left his hometown. But they weren't classic Browns, just classic Cleveland. They weren't doing anything to put players around their star player.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. They just, like you just said, Amari Cooper, they let go. They
You knew they
haven't
weren't
been
ready
really
to win.
putting any offensive line around Deshaun Watson. They've put all this money into Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett, and they don't really have a lot of more paper or breadcrumbs to give anybody else.
No,
So it's kind of done for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you went from being a very good team last year to this team this year just looks absolutely awful.
With Flacco.
Yeah.
Like you were dope with Flacco, and it's like I think they thought, Watson was going to get it done. I mean, it seems like probably what they're going to do, and this is just me speculating, is that they're going to cut ties with that contract and just eat it. And I mean, if I'm the Browns, I hate to say this, and you don't want to trade a generational player like Myles Garrett, but you're going to get probably 2 first rounders for him, right?
Yeah.
2 first rounders for Ramsey, right? When he got traded. What Von Miller did he get? Was he two first rounders? He was at least 1.
I believe so.
So Myles Garrett's worth 2. So if I'm Cleveland, eat that contract. It sucks. Let him move on. Start fresh somewhere else while he's young. Trade Myles Garrett. You ain't winning nothing. Get the worst record. Come in, you got your first round pick. Trade for a couple other first rounders to, I don't know, Detroit, who just lost Hutch. Trade him. I don't want that as a Bears fan, but that seems like the likely place to see him go somewhere like that. And you can literally start to rebuild your team next year with 2 first rounders. Get yourself these. What's his name? Ewers from Texas or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's okay. I don't think Sanders is shit, really, but I don't think he'll be shit in the NFL, in my opinion. But
I don't know. With the Browns, man, it seems like they've been trying to rebuild for quite a while, and then when they get some surge, get some hot water going, get some fire to the flame, it seems like they always peter out. It seems like they never get it quite correct.
they got that blueprint of failure to a T.
Absolutely.
They have created that blueprint, and I mean, look at Baker. I mean, I know he threw a couple bad picks last night, but I mean, he's killing it. And everybody thought, oh, he's washed. He ain't nothing. He's a bust. And Baker's been balling, man. So it's just, I think it's a system thing. And I mean, you're seeing, like, I come from a Chicago Bears fan. I know system quarterback issues as best as the rest of them. So I think Caleb Williams is going to be dope. I think they finally found a franchise quarterback. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm saying he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I'm just saying he's better than Justin Fields as when Fields was a rookie, and I think he's better than Justin Fields right now, in my opinion. But Fields is a system quarterback. You put him with somebody like a Sean Payton or, a Mike Tomlin, an Andy Reid, something like that, you're going to see success because they're going to form the offense around him with his strengths. Chicago didn't know how to do that. So you're going to see him be, make the playoffs probably out in the first round. That's probably his career, with a good coach, like a Tomlin. So,
yeah.
But
no, forever I wanted Mike Tomlin to come to the Cowboys, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I wanted him to be a Cowboy,
Belichick?
and I would love to see Belichick as a GM. I don't know if he has it in him anymore to be a head coach. The problem with that though is Jerry Jones, and if you listen to my last podcast, I gave Jerry Jones everything, including the bathwater. I don't see, unless Jerry Jones steps down, unless somebody else be GM, the Cowboys will forever be mediocre, forever,
I
without
mean,
a
I
doubt.
think Dak. I get Dak has good regular season stats, but I think he fleeced Jerry Jones on that 60 million. I mean, this is just my opinion.
It's
I
hard,
think
brother, because you got to look at it like this. So you're looking at the
he's a
market.
dope quarterback for sure.
Yeah, the problem is you're looking at the market. They signed him in a year too late. That's what they did. They could have extended him the previous year, and they didn't. If they signed him a previous year, they would have saved so much money. When the Cowboys always do this, because this upcoming year you had Trevor Lawrence sign a big contract. You can't say Trevor Lawrence is better than Dak. You had Jared Goff
No,
sign a
he's
better
not even close.
big contract. You had who else? I think Matt Stafford signed an extension. So the market for Dak Prescott was correct. The problem being is that we've got no production outside of the regular season. But if you look at when we played the Packers last season in the first round, Dak isn't the reason we lost. The reason we lost is our defense gave up 21 points in the first half.
Yep. Yep.
And I don't know why. It's just another Dan Quinn give up of, just a fumble. I don't know what that was. We definitely should have beat the Packers, and on paper, like, we should have beat the Packers by like 20 points based on athleticism and, the amount of talent we have. But it's just the Cowboys do what the Cowboys do, bro. I'm be honest with you. And looking at our upcoming schedule, we played 49ers this week. We played a fucking 49ers this week after a big loss the previous week, and it's gonna be something. I mean, our defense is absolutely staggered with injuries. Our offense can't get anything going. They're forcing the ball to CD. We have no running game. We brought back Zeke, but we're only giving him the ball 3 times. Rico Dowdle's getting like 50 yards per game, and we're last right now in all when it comes to rushing yards. We're just awful. We're terrible.
I don't know how you go a single game without giving CD 15 targets. Like,
you have to, but the problem is,
I don't care if he's triple covered.
Yeah.
Like,
the problem is
it's just
Dak is trying to force these balls, and we're not playing any type of we're not giving them like one-on-one stuff. We're putting them in a slide or staying, just regular trips or dubs on each side. It's not like anything we're doing special, and that's the biggest issue.
Yeah. I mean, I thought last year was going to be NFC Championship year for them. Not saying they were going to win it, but I thought, in my opinion, I was thinking them and 49ers, something like that. Kind of. And then
Me too, brother.
Chiefs and Ravens. I mean, that's kind of where I was at with it, and I couldn't. And I'm a Bears fan. I hate the fucking Packers. But it was. I don't know. I'm rough on the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. I don't know why I hate the Cowboys. I'm not. They're not even in the division. I think it's just if you're not a Cowboys fan, you're supposed to hate them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
I love CeeDee Lamb, dude. He is a dope, and he could come to Chicago anytime he wants. And
you would love that, bro. Y'all got Keenan Allen out there. What y'all need CD for? Y'all got Keenan Allen out there.
Yeah, DJ Moore. I like
exactly. Well, y'all don't need CD, bro. Y'all don't need that contract.
Dude, I'll trade DJ Moore and fucking Keenan Allen for CD right now. CD's dope, man. I like him a lot. I can't stand Dak. I've never been able to stand him. I don't know why.
So what is your reasoning for hating Dak? Did you watch him a little bit in college, or
Mississippi State?
Yes, he did well. Okay. He did well at Mississippi State.
I don't. He has far exceeded his. What was he? Fourth round? Third round?
Third round.
Third round. So he's far exceeded his draft position. He is an exceptional role model. He's a good football player when they're winning by 30 points. He's sorry, I gotta run it off.
Go ahead, bro. Tell me how you really feel. Tell me how you really feel. Go ahead.
I compare him to. I was always saying like, oh, he's like Aaron Rodgers. He can win when it's not the playoffs. Like that was always kind of my thing. I call him Yak, Y-A-K, like puke. That was always kind of my thing. He's a great quarterback, and the thing is, he's probably we could maybe be a cool segment to just do back and forth, like who our top 10 is, but he's probably in there, right? Like, I mean, he would, I think he's back into that, like maybe 10. But it's just, it's nothing personal. It's just something about that dude I can't stand, and I love when he throws picks. I don't know
It's
what
because
it
he
is.
plays for the Cowboys.
I love all you Cowboy fans, though. You guys are dope. I like Darrow. Yeah, I mean, all you guys. You guys are dope. I love you guys. I was like, but it's just, I don't know, something about Dak. I just can't. I can't stand the dude. I troll him constantly any chance I get. But all in all seriousness, he's a good quarterback. I just don't. I think he lacks that clutch gene. I mean, and I don't know what it is. I just think when it really, really matters, he struggles to show up. And that's just like my assessment. Now, again, I don't, not being a fan, I don't understand all the internals of, what's going on. I also think Diggs is not that great of a coverage DB. Sorry if that makes everybody mad, but
No, I 100% agree.
I think old boy's better. The guy that was hurt that intercepted like every game last year.
Deron Bland.
Yeah, I think he's better than Diggs. And I don't think it's close. I mean, what was it against? Was it Jane Reed? Didn't he cook Diggs like, or who did the Cowboys just play? Where they got
The week previous we played
Lions.
Lions. Yeah.
Man, he was getting cooked all game,
Yeah,
and it was just
that's
like,
what he is. He's a bend don't break. So that's why if anybody ever watches the Cowboys play, you will notice we always have a safety over top of whoever he's covering, and he will never play super close to the line. He'll play 2 to 3 yards, but that's it. He won't be man up on him. The biggest thing with him is he's just like on the ball. So he's either going to intercept it, deflect it, or he's going to get beat by 15 yards.
Sure.
There's no in between with Trayvon Diggs. There's absolutely no in between. Now going back to Dak, I would put Dak at like 6 or 7. I think that's
okay.
I think 6 or 7 would work. The first, obviously, number one, you have to give it
now?
top 5.
Right now, yeah.
Top 5 would have to be Patrick. I would say Lamar Jackson 2. Josh Allen would be 3. I would probably put Justin Herbert at 4. And then maybe Matthew Stafford at 5.
Okay.
I would put A-Rod probably at like 7, and Dak or 8 or 9 probably would be mine. I think CJ Stroud, actually with CJ Stroud, Dak maybe 9 would see. I may put Stroud at 7 or 8, and then put Dak at like 9.
You got Burrow anywhere?
Burrow, the problem with Burrow is he's so inconsistent, and I love Burrow because I'm an LSU fan, but he's so inconsistent. But I can't argue that either. So that's another one. Right now, he's top 5 in every category, so I guess I would have to throw him in there. I don't think he's top 5. I think he's probably like 6. So I would go Patty, Lamar, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, probably Matthew Stafford, and then Joe Burrow. And then, like I said, Dak would probably be like 9 for me.
Yeah.
Just based on this year.
I hate to say this, but Love has a serious argument for being in that top 7 for me.
He does, yes, he does.
I'm a big Herbie fan. Like, I love Herbie. And I got a couple buddies that hate on that dude, and I don't get it. I don't know how you throw for 369 passing yards, whatever he had last night, with only 11 incompletions and not a single touchdown pass. But when you got Palmer, Ladd, McConkey as your 1 and 2, I mean, I think Ladd's going to be dope, but just not right now. I seen him drop 2 easy passes last night. It was incredible. And that's my frustration because I had a parlay on him and he just was dropping the ball. So, but it was like, there's something about Love, man. I hate the fucking Packers with a passion. I wish a bomb would blow up there. I don't really mean that, but just being the rivalry that we have with being Bears and Packers, it's just he slings it and it looks effortless and it reminds you of Aaron Rodgers. Like you can tell that dude sat behind him. The way he throws off his back foot and just kind of flicks it. And but the thing that he does that Rodgers didn't do is he throws a lot of picks.
Yes.
What he threw 2 against the Texans, he threw 3 against the Vikings. Dude throws a lot of picks. But right now, I put him ahead of Herbert. I hate to say that
Really?
because I'm a big Herbie fan. I think if you put Herbert on that Packers offense how it is and take Love out, I think Love has more success in that offense than Herbert does, in my
Interesting.
opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a Herbert dude. I thought he's top 5 for me every year in the league for sure. The dude's tough as nails. He's always playing hurt. You give him this year with Harbaugh and let Harbaugh get another draft in him and maybe an off-season acquisition or something at that wide receiver spot, Herbie's going to be back to being a problem. He's going to be back in that top 5, no questions. And you're going to be with the Patrick Mahomes, Jackson, then you got Lamar, Allen, Herbie, and then you're going to be battling Stroud and Burrow, in my opinion, for your top 5. Is, in my opinion, what I think if you look 3 years out from now, I feel like that's our consistent, probably top 5.
Yeah. No, I agree.
But it changes, man. It's a big league, and people are killing it.
Yes. Only thing I'm worried about is the future. I think the Cowboys have definitely seen what they're going to be the best of here in the past 3-4 years. We had many opportunities to win, I think, and be really good, and we had the talent to do so. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 5 years. I think Dak Prescott. I don't know. I don't know if we should have signed him. Maybe we should have done something differently. But it's going to be rough, man. It's going to be real rough.
Options, though. I mean, you're starting over, right? I mean,
yeah,
I feel like
we don't have. There aren't any options at all. I see us possibly going Aston Giatti from Boise State, trying to get some run game again.
I was just about to say that, bro.
Maybe trying to go get him and see if we can get some run game going.
That'll piss me off.
I hope we get him.
So dope.
But I think Jerry Jones has learned his lesson with driving a running back so high in the draft, especially when there's so many to be picked from. So hopefully he doesn't make that mistake again like he did with Zeke, and then we lose out on a couple of other people we could have gotten. But yeah, I think
what, a 7th rounder?
What's that?
Pacheco was what, a 7th rounder?
Yeah,
for the Chiefs.
The running backs are everywhere. So, you can get the market screwed up with that, but yeah. And then the biggest surprise of me of this year is the Commanders being so fucking good. It kind of broke my heart to see how good they're doing. And I think y'all play them this upcoming week, right?
Yeah, dude. I'm not ready for the Bears to bear because it ain't gonna be. If there's any game for them to just break my heart and just suck a big fat one, it's going to be this one. They're going to make Daniels look like God's gift to heaven. And Daniels is dope. I mean, that dude is unreal. But this is the battle. I listen to, I have an hour drive every day to work, so I listen to 670 The Score. It's Chicago Sports Radio every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting here bouncing. Everybody's like, oh, Bears picked wrong. Daniels is the guy. Caleb Williams sucks. And it's like, when do we get to this point, and maybe this is just 2024, but when do we get to this point to where you're only allowed to have one good quarterback in a draft? Is it okay that both of them could be dope? Because I'm telling you, Bo Nix looks like he could be solid under Sean Payton. We don't know anything about McCarthy yet, but judging by what what's his name did with Sam Darnold, you would think that McCarthy's probably going to be solid. So you could potentially have 4 above average and maybe 2 great quarterbacks. Is like, why is that not possible? I'm not 6 games in. 6 games in, Daniels is the better quarterback, and it's not close. Where are we at 5 years from now? How many times has Daniels been hurt running the ball and everything else? And I don't know if you've seen this. I seen this statistic come out the other day. Right now, the top 5 quarterbacks that throw on their to their first read, Daniels was in the top 5. So he was in there with like Justin Fields and like some of the other Daniel Jones. He was in there of quarterbacks that first read, boom, balls out. And Kingsbury's got a very colorful playbook. Your top 5 of the league that threw the ball off their second, third, and fourth reads, Caleb Williams was in that top 5.
Yeah.
So what I love about that is being a Bears fan and having Fields for the last 4 years is that if that first read's not there, you're fucked. And that's just how the Bears always operated. And it's nice to have a quarterback that will go through his progressions.
Yeah, and Caleb Daniels.
That's huge.
I was watching that game. I think it may have been last game. My man ran a fake screen, and threw it down the middle. I was like, damn, he's looking like he's playing baseball right now. This bastard looks good.
Yeah. Dude, that shit was dope, man. I mean,
he's looking good. He really is looking good. I had my doubts because he is so fucking arrogant and he's a little feminine, and I was like, he's not gonna work. I saw the black fingernail polish, and I was like, this isn't gonna work. Bears fans are gonna hate this.
Yeah, when he came out with that fucking Bears week 1, I said, you just fucked us, bro. You better come out and look. We had Dennis Rodman in Chicago wearing dresses and shit, but that dude was winning championships.
Yeah.
So I don't care if you come out in a red G-string, but you better win the fucking game. You better win it big, because it's like you come out dressing like a homo. You better win some games. I don't care what you do outside of it. You want to have a little poodle and paint your nails and do shit like that, I'm good with that if you're winning. But if you're throwing picks and you're losing games, I got a problem with that. And you're lucky the Bears defense bailed you out against the Titans, because we should have beat the Titans, we should have beat the Colts, and we had a chance to beat the Texans. So this Bears team's tough, but they have the toughest remaining schedule of every team in the NFL, with a winning percentage of 629 is what their team's averages. So we're about to find out. They're gonna have to step up. You got the Packers twice, you got the Lions twice, you got the Vikings twice. We got San Francisco, we got the Redskins. So yeah, time to saddle up, boys.
Yeah, and then going back to J.J. McCarthy, do you think they would even consider him as a starter coming in next year with how well Sam Darnold is playing?
I think Vikings are going to trade.
I would assume, right? I would assume, unless you want to sit him behind for a little while, let him develop. But then you have Sam Darnold, who's already pretty young as it is. It's probably like nothing over 25.
Yeah, it's crazy how young he is. Seems like he's been in the league for like 15 years.
I know.
I seen today that they said that the Vikings are in very strong consideration for Stafford, which kind of caught me off guard. I've been hearing it for like the last week, and then I seen a report today that came out and said that the Vikings are seriously considering offers for Stafford because they're winning all these games. They might think that they can't get it done with, like we were lucky to win these games with Darnold. We need a Matt Stafford to come in.
Yeah.
Imagine Stafford with JJ and Hawkinson and Aaron Jones.
Yeah. And then it would make sense to have JJ just sit in the back and kind of learn, but I don't know. They're in a weird situation. They're in a weird situation. I like JJ McCarthy. I'm not a big hater of JJ.
I don't know enough about him to hate. I know they had 2 monsters at running back. So, like he was being penalized for having good running backs because he didn't have to throw the ball. But everything you've seen in preseason, everything, it looks like the dude can ball. So, I mean, can you imagine? The NFC North right now is dope. I can argue it's probably the best division in the league. Bears are 4-2 and they're last. It's just kind of it's kind of wild. It's just, I see Colin Cowherd came out with his top 10 power rankings, and you got Lions, Vikings, and Packers are all like in the top 6. And obviously the Bears aren't on there, but it's just crazy to see 3 teams from the NFC North being in the top 6 of what his power rankings are. So I don't know. We'll see. I think like kind of what you said. I think sitting behind another quarterback might be good for him for a year. And you might get that Jordan Love effect, right? Where he comes out and he's super young. Love's what, 25? And he sat for 4 years? So, might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, and I hate it because I also don't like the Packers, because the Packers always put us out or beat us sometimes, or actually all the time.
I feel that.
With many of the times we've played them. And not only did they have Brett Favre, and now they had Aaron Rodgers, and now they have Jordan Love. It kind of makes me sick to my fucking stomach. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay, perfect question. Did Michael or not Michael Irvin? Did Des Bryant catch that
Yes,
ball?
100%.
Thank you.
100% he caught the ball. That was a catch all
Such
day.
bullshit.
He caught the
Fucking
fucking ball.
bullshit, bro.
And
Dude,
I guarantee you that game you were kind of split. You were like, damn, I hate the Packers. But I
at the time,
hate the Cowboys too.
I didn't even really hate the Cowboys. It's something about Dak, dude. I just can't stand that motherfucker. I don't know why, but
I love Romo, man.
Tony Romo graduated Eastern Illinois, and I'm an Illinois boy. So,
Yeah.
there was kind of a little bit of, I liked his story. No one even knew who the fuck this dude was.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of cool. But at that time, my hatred was solely on the Packers. That's it. I have friends that are Packers fans, so I got shit every time we played them. We lost. And I don't know, it's always nice to hear y'all's perspective, Cowboys fans' perspective on that catch, because every time, the more I watch it, the more clear it was a catch.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that was that was fucked, man. I mean, that's
No,
Logan.
I mean, and they changed the rule since then. So if you catch the ball and you make a move like a what do they call it, some type of move, then that's
A football move,
actioned
right?
as
Football
what
move.
is a football move. If that's a
Yeah.
football move, and they changed it since then, that was absolutely a catch. He absolutely caught that ball.
I
Absolutely.
I have never seen. How many times do you see running backs reach over the goal line
Yep.
and then they drop the ball, and it's a touchdown because as soon as that ball crosses the plane, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was no fucking different than what Dez was doing. He took 2 steps, laid out, stretched the ball. That was not a process of the catch, and they fucked that one up. That was bad.
It was terrible. And ever since then, it's been a plague. Because then I think 2 years after, we went and played them with Dak in Dallas. Because I believe we were. Oh, yeah, we were. We had won the NFC that year, so we had the bye. And we
Was
played
this
them
the
in Dallas.
Jared Cook sideline catch for like 40 or
Yep.
50
And then
yards? And
we're playing prevent offense or prevents defense. It's like third down for them. They just need a field goal to win it. And of course, Aaron Rodgers goes to the left, runs out, throws it off, a beautiful throw, and just sideline
oh,
catch. And then they kick the
ah,
field goal and we lose.
yeah, I fucking hate that about that man. He just kind of, what, he got a Hail Mary, what, last week?
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. It is. You're not good, bro. You're not good at the fucking Hail Mary. You're lucky. I am sick and tired of that. Oh, he's good. He knows how to do this. No, it's
He just
just
tosses it up.
he plays against ignorant fucks at that time that don't know how to block a goddamn ball on the ground. He gets lucky, and I'm sick and tired of his praise. I can't stand that dude. But I like him now that he's not on the Packers. But you got Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall. You get this backup running back, Braylon Allen, and you can't win a fucking game.
No. And they fired the coach for him so that he would have full control.
Crybaby Rodgers.
But, I mean, I also am I like Aaron Rodgers. I like him.
Yeah.
I think he brings
like
a lot
his,
of grit to the game.
Yeah, I like his I don't give a fuck attitude. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like that's how we all operate. But
Yeah.
that I do like about him. But when you watch him on the field, he's a whiny ass bitch. I mean, that's a fact. You see
And he needs to fix his fucking helmet. This
Yeah.
little fucking 90s helmet he's wearing pisses me off with the long sleeves. You look like a fucking goof.
Yeah, he's just. I can't stand the constant every time. Even if he throws a bad pass, he may be shaking his head at himself. I doubt it. But, like, every time something doesn't go his way, instead of hyping his team up, he's always shaking his head, closing his eyes. He's just. The dude's tough, but I said the other day, he fucking, talks and, dresses like Tarzan. He plays like Jane, is what I said, because it was like, he's always complaining. And it's like, but I love the dude's, I love it. I love the way he was with COVID. The I don't give a fuck attitude. It's my body. I'll do what the fuck I want. You can't tell me. Fine, I won't play. Like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That's right. I like him. I wouldn't even mind if he was fucking vice president. But goddamn it, when it's on the football field, I can't stand the dude. Best thrower of the football of all time, I must add. But Yeah, I don't know. On the football field, I just can't. I try. Now that he's not in Green Bay, I just can't stand him, dude. I don't know what it is.
Because of his years in Green Bay?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Just getting teabagged by him for fucking 12 years or whatever it is, it's, it's rough. It's rough, man.
Was it not only the teabagging, but was it also the fact that he would go on these podcasts and these other things and be like, yeah, if I was a Bear fan, I'd be mad too because y'all never beat us or we dominate you every year. Is that another reason why you just absolutely hate him?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's definitely it. I mean, because he is probably the best thrower of the football we've ever seen. I mean,
really?
I feel like I've never seen that dude throw a wobbly football. I think so. I think he just, dude, he makes it look. He's the only quarterback I feel like I've watched where it looks like a video game. Like the shit Patrick Mahomes does looks, not real because of how he's able to scramble and make room in the pocket, scramble out, make this sidearm throw, do this. That shit's crazy. But like, I've never seen somebody just over the years of watching. It's like the Bears got him at 3rd and 13, and he completes it like it's nothing every time. They're on their own 10-yard line, 3rd and 13, flicks it out there, first down, and it's like, what the fuck? Every time for 12 years, it seems like that dude was just torching, and he just seemed unreal to me. So I think he's the best thrower of the football.
The only one I would put above Aaron Rodgers would be Mike Vick.
Okay.
The reason I put Mike Vick is because when Mike Vick, whether he was running the ball or and a lot of people didn't look at his throwing, they looked at how elusive he was and how quick he was. But if you ever watch him throw a football,
beautiful.
It's the most magnificent. It's like art. The dude flicks his wrist and it goes 60 yards down the field. It was insane. I think if he didn't get in trouble how he did whenever he was on the Falcons, I think we would have more of a conversation of how good Mike Vick actually was.
100%. Love Mike.
Because I remember the game he came back, he was playing for the Eagles, and he had the shot. He was on his own 20. He threw the ball. I think this might have been fourth quarter. Yeah, and this might have been the fourth quarter. And I could be wrong about the timing and what game it was, whatever. But
play of the game, dude.
He's on his own 20. Deshaun Watson's doing a little flag route, corner route. No. He's doing a post route, middle of the field. He just goes back and flicks his wrist, throws the ball 60 yards down the field. Perfect dime to Deshaun Watson or Deshaun Jackson. It was absolutely insane.
That was the one where he turned around and ran like the last 10 yards backwards.
Yeah.
Just dusted everybody. Yeah, that throw was incredible. Incredible.
That would be the only one, and I think Mike Vick doesn't get all the love he deserves, and a lot of people are throwing Lamar Jackson in there now, but I mean, he didn't have as much time as Lamar Jackson. He crawled so Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and people like that can run.
Yeah, the thing I hate about the Lamar Jackson thing is I can't stand people, the whole, he's pretty good for a running back. It's like, dude, I mean, the dude can ball. And no matter, just because he can run don't mean the boy can't throw the ball.
He can absolutely throw. Yeah, for anybody questioning that right now, listen to the podcast, my boy can throw the ball. He has a fucking cannon on him. Yeah, so let's just get that correct.
If you think he can't throw the ball,
yes, absolutely. Fuck you if you think because the problem is, brother. The problem is I truly think this. He went to Louisville. I think a lot of people have SEC bias. I'm going to be completely honest with you. And then when they don't see an SEC player balling out, and he wins the Heisman, people get upset and it's like, oh well, he's not really a quarterback. He's a running back. And I'm like, that's such an ignorant. Like, look what he's doing out here right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, and last night was the perfect example. You had the 2018 number 1 overall pick in Baker Mayfield versus the 28th or whatever he was overall pick in the 2018 draft, Lamar Jackson. You got one side of the field has Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the other side of the field has Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, who apparently doesn't want to play football anymore. And he's... Who's the best wide receiver Lamar Jackson's had in his career? OBJ? I mean...
Maybe Hollywood Brown. Probably would be his best.
And that's tough.
Yeah.
You know, like, Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill. He's got Rashee Rice. Now, I know he's hurt. Kelsey.
Travis Kelce, yeah.
I know Jackson had Andrews, but when you look at the volume that he's been able to perform at, and then you look at his weapons, you know he's a quarterback. Then, if you really look at like who has been his weapons, you know he hasn't had a Stafford had Calvin Johnson had Megatron coming into the league. You know you didn't have, you know you had Matt Ryan had fucking Julio Jones and
Roddy White
and
Calvin
Gonzalez
Ridley and Tony
Ridley.
Gonzalez, yeah.
It's like you see these dudes coming into the league, and it's like my argument is like, who the fuck is Lamar had though? Who's he had? Anybody that he has had on that team is a wide receiver 2 on most teams, and that's his wide receiver 1. Rashad Bateman's a wide receiver 2 on probably every team except the Browns. You know,
maybe 3.
Tampa Bay now, or maybe 3, right?
Yeah.
He don't start in Chicago, so you know it's like he's a wide receiver 4 in Chicago. He's not playing over Dunze or Keenan Allen or DJ Moore. You know, so it's like you look at it, it's like, and the dude balls out. So it's time for everybody to shut up about Lamar not being a quarterback, because I mean, there's an argument he's probably the number 1 quarterback in the league this year, and it's probably not even close.
You think over Pat?
I think Pat's dog shit this year.
You think he's dog shit?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan. And I know he doesn't have a lot of weapons right now. I get it. And I know they're undefeated. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. The dude finds a way to win, and that's what makes him different.
Yeah.
That's why he's still the best quarterback in the league. But I think if you put Lamar on the Chiefs, they're still undefeated. Bold take. But
no, I don't think it's a bold take at all. I think because their defense is pretty solid as well. Especially with the addition of getting Chris Jones back, which I was hoping he would leave, so it would take a little bit off of them. But no, I don't think it's a rough take. I think it's just 2 different offenses. I mean, with the Ravens, you get a lot of the RPO. You get a lot of that, especially with Derrick Henry. You get a lot of those fake action plays, or there's the RPO itself, which Patrick Mahomes is not going to be. He's not the guy for that. He doesn't run RPO. Right. He's more of a stand in the pocket and then elude if he needs to. But I think if you switch it to, I think the Ravens probably have the same, if not maybe a little bit better record. But I think the Chiefs would still have the same record for sure.
Yeah, I think if like if I'm drafting a quarterback, if I'm starting my own franchise, and it's like, okay, you have the number 1 pick for your team, not fantasy, just new team. Patrick Mahomes is the draft all day and twice on Sunday. And even if you had to ask me, then I had the number 2 pick. I think I'd probably take Allen over Lamar. But right now, I think Lamar is the best quarterback in the league right now, and it's not close. And I'm basing that obviously off of statistics. Lamar's just balling out, and Patrick Mahomes is throwing picks, and he's not throwing tutties. And it's just kind of, he doesn't have a lot of weapons. I think they're trying to work in Worthy, in my opinion, has been kind of a disappointment. As we've seen with John Ross, you can be fast. It doesn't mean you're a good wide receiver. You know, so, but the thing is that I think the difference between why I want Mahomes long term over Lamar Jackson is Mahomes knows how to win when it matters. Jackson has yet to prove that he can win in the playoffs consistently. So, back-to-back Super Bowl champ, you got to take him, right? I mean, he's the answer, but right now, I mean, I go with Lamar just for this year alone. Long term, it's Mahomes all day. Yeah. Twice on Sunday, for sure.
Yeah, no, but if you look at the playoff stats, Dak and Lamar Jackson are pretty fucking, they're about the same. They're about the same. And I love Lamar Jackson. I used to hate on Dak. I watched a little doc on him and see everything he's been through between his mom passing away of cancer and his brother killing himself and him dealing with alcoholism. So I respect him a bit more. But there are people who only look at it for a sports reference. And if you looking at Dak from that, especially the Cowboys fans, you probably hate Dak Prescott. And you absolutely appreciate Tony Romo now more than ever, for sure.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And like I said early on, I mean, I hate fucking LeBron with a burning passion.
Kobe
But
over
again,
everybody.
I'm MJ, of course.
I'm a Kobe fan. Kobe over everybody.
I think MJ and Kobe are over LeBron. So I don't give a fuck about that scoring points. You played in the league for 80 years. But, win a championship. But it's like, and I'm sorry, but that fucking bowl championship don't count, motherfucker. I don't care what anybody says. And what about that in-season fucking tournament championship? Is that not the gayest thing you've ever heard?
It's the fucking stupidest thing. This is not the double NCAA.
That's a participation trophy. That's what that is.
This is not the NCAA. It's not. You don't need tournaments inside. They're going to do it again this year.
Yeah.
It's a view thing. They want more views during the regular season. That's all it is. And it's fucking stupid. Dumbest shit ever.
I called it a legacy enhancer.
Oh, for sure. Because they'd be like, oh, yeah. Well, LeBron has a in-league tournament, and MJ doesn't, so he obviously is better. Eat a dick sideways, bro. What are you talking about?
No. Yeah, that's why I used to get on Daryl all the time about, because he'd always talk about LeBron, and, I'd always...
Which is crazy, because Daryl used to be the biggest Kobe fan. When I tell you the biggest, he was the biggest. It was Kobe and Tiger, and nobody else could fucking touch him. And then LeBron kills all these fucking... Daryl, I'm talking to you, and I know you're going to be listening to this while you're at work. You were the biggest fucking Kobe fan. You had pictures on your wall. And then as soon as Kobe is gone, done playing basketball, it's fucking LeBron. What are we doing? It's Kobe all day. All right? It's Kobe fucking Bryant. And people say MJ, that wasn't my era. I was born in 01. Sure. It's like people talking about Tupac and Biggie. I didn't get to experience that whole entire thing. I didn't get to experience. I missed out. Right. So Kobe for me is the greatest of all time, in my opinion. All right? He played with fucking... He took a team to the championship that were fucking all plumbers. He had Pau Gasol and motherfucking Ron Artest. All right? And Lamar Odom, if you talk to Stephen A., he was on fucking crack, okay? Right. And LeBron had every player's help. Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, Dwayne Wade back in 08, whenever they played together, Dwayne Wade was still a fucking top 25, maybe top 15 player in the league. Michael Jordan, I think Scottie Pippen averaged 16 points a game when he played with Michael Jordan. 16 points a game. 16. And yes, they had Horace Grant. They had Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman scored 2 points a game with 20 rebounds. So there was no scoring there.
He's Draymond Green.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, my thing was how many teams did Kobe and Michael put together to win a championship? How many super teams did they chase to win? That's all LeBron's done. He's played GM because he's like, look, I can't mold these young kids, these new draft, E's. I can't trust the process. I need to go to established players like a Durant or, these kind of guys. I need to group up with these guys, and then we just hope our talent fucking wins over. And it's like, Absolutely. You see Kobe, you see Michael. Them guys, in their DNA, losing was not an option.
No.
LeBron's DNA is, well, if I lose, I already have my excuse ready. And I don't feel like Kobe and Michael had that. They were like, look, motherfuckers, you either play to win or I'm going to have you're off the team.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And the only people, that's why the only people that want to play with LeBron are these fucking 50-year-old retired centers. They that's the only time he can get these fucking old-ass players that want to come play with him. And it's like, none of these young kids want to play for you, man. I mean, it's just... And look at the fucking stunt act that's going on with putting Bronny on the team. That dude don't deserve to be in the NBA right now.
That's a smart marketing move, brother. That's the best marketing move of the decade.
Fuck yeah. I mean, from a business standpoint, genius. Bravo. You ain't winning no fucking championship, LeBron. So,
No, he's not. No.
That's a fact. That dude can't make a layup any better than Angel Reese can make a layup, and that's a fact. So that's a fact, bro. And I know he can't rebound as good as her.
My
so
boy coming in hot with it. That was amazing.
That's a fact. And I know Daryl's.
No, it was a great marketing move. I think opening night he will be playing. Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. will be there, so that's another thing. They have a big Nike rollout right now, so I mean I get it. I mean it makes monetary sense, but if you're trying to win games, it's not going to work out for him.
It's just like all it is legacy enhancers for LeBron at this point in his career. He wants championships, but he's finding other ways to say, I was the first to do this. I was the first to do this. First father-son duo to do this. And I'm the leading point scorer. And I'm this, and I'm this, and I'm this. It's like, okay, well, you have 3 and an asterisk championships. Congratulations. You had to chase for those. Congratulations.
And you lost 6, LeBron.
Yeah. And you completely folded against a subpar Mavericks team.
For sure.
You let JJ Barea and Michael Finley and
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry, you let them beat Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, LeBron, Chalmers, all them dudes. It's because LeBron could not make a shot. And not to mention, he's a 72% career free throw shooter?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He's a great role model. He does a lot of things for the community. He doesn't get in trouble yet until we find out what P. Diddy comes out with. But, as of right now, he's a good role model. We don't know what he did with the P. Diddy parties. But, I'm sure somebody's getting very rich with some information because he seems a little... Ooh, buddy. I hope that P. Diddy stuff don't come out.
What would be your top 5 all time when it comes to NBA?
And see, I hate the NBA. I don't watch it. I just love sports. Top 5. I love this question. So, your top 2 guaranteed, Michael and Kobe. And I do think LeBron is a generational talent. I think he's softer than a box of Kleenex, but
backbone of a gummy bear.
Yeah. He's another one that talks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. 100%. But I put Michael, Kobe, LeBron has to be. It's hard to leave Steph Curry out. You got to put Steph in there, and fuck. I don't know, dude. I love Shaq.
Shaq's the greatest center of all time. Yeah, for sure.
There is a load of fucking options, but there has never been a player like Shaquille O'Neal. 7.
Let me make it easier for you then. What would be your starting 5? If you had to put any player that's ever played into a starting 5, who would be your 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5?
Steph. MJ and Kobe both were like 6'6", so I suppose one of them can play small forward, right?
Yeah.
So Michael, Kobe, either position. I probably like Michael maybe better as a small forward. I think Kobe probably attacked better, like he was more quick. LeBron Michael just could turn and shoot. Small forward position down the corner, that little side turn away, fade away shot, deadly. I feel like then after that it's hard to pass up on Tim Duncan and Shaq. I mean, that's probably the lineup that I would roll out. I mean, Tim Duncan's one of them players that he's so boring that he was good. You know what I mean? Like he's just you look at other power forwards. Karl Malone. I'd take Tim Duncan all day. You got.
Would you take Tim Duncan over Charles Barkley? Or I guess Hakeem mostly played center, but I guess you could kind of throw him in there at the 4.
I mean, it's just it's hard. I just Tim Duncan almost 7 foot, and then you got Shaq controlling the paint. I mean, that's tough. I mean, if I'm going off shooting, I almost like Dirk better than fucking, Tim Duncan. And I
Yeah.
mean, you're not going to get the rebounds and the force inside, but you put that dude anywhere, and he's money. But I think I'd probably lean Tim Duncan, and then probably Shaq. And I know there's tons of options you can go with, but
Yeah.
I mean, Charles Barkley was just, dude was a dog, man. He was a dog for sure. But I think Tim Duncan was better than Barkley, in my opinion. Now, I'm not religious on that fact because I don't watch a lot of NBA, but that's probably the route that I would go.
Yeah.
I think it's safe. I think you're winning some championships.
At the 1, I would put Allen Iverson.
Ooh, love it.
At the 2, I put Kobe. I put, for MJ, it has to be the 96 Bulls. So MJ during 96. And then at the 4, I put Bron. He could play any position, in my opinion. And then Shaq at the 5. And I think you go undefeated 81-0.
Yeah.
It was between Allen Iverson and Steph, but I like Allen Iverson better because I think he was more all-around player. So I put AI at the 1, even though he was a shooting guard. I've definitely put him at 1, Kobe at 2, MJ at 3, Bron at the 4, and then Shaq at the 5.
Yeah, love it. I mean,
now they would be lacking the 3-point capability, which is cool, but nobody's troubling them inside at all.
yeah, everything from 15 feet is block.
Exactly.
And if they miss it, you got Diesel there cleaning up. So
exactly.
It's I mean, Shaq, I feel like, is the clear answer. I mean, you got Kareem and all this other bullshit. We've just never seen a player that's 7'1" that's built like a fucking linebacker.
Yeah.
Like I said this to my buddy when Zion was coming out. I said, you want to know who my player comp to Zion is? The Orlando Magic Shaquille O'Neal.
For sure.
He's like, are you fucking idiot? I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, Shaq's fat as fuck. I said, bro, you remember seeing him with the Magic?
My man was skinny.
Chiseled, dude. Chiseled. I said, there is not a more perfect comp to Zion than Orlando Magic Shaquille O'Neal. It is almost, other than height, obviously. Zion's 6'6", Shaq's 7'1", whatever. But I said, he goes, well, Shaq wasn't that athletic with Orlando. I said, what the fuck are you talking about?
You lost your fucking mind?
I was like,
even with the Lakers, at one point, Shaq used to take the ball down sometimes on a fast break and just fucking go in between his legs.
When he came in the league with Orlando, you haven't seen a player like that before.
Never, ever again will you see a player like Shaq. No, absolutely not.
Not to that size, that authority, I mean, just everything, dude. He's incredible. Incredible.
In today's game, he would fucking put his nuts in everybody's face. What are we talking?
Oh, yeah. Dude, Wemby would never score.
No, Wemby wouldn't have a point. Not against Shaq. Hell no.
He'd have so many broken bones, bro. Dude, you couldn't play against that man. It's just, yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I probably lean your top 5 better. If I was to trade out, yeah, it'd be Tim Duncan, LeBron. And I still like Steph Curry over Iverson, but I was rocking the Iversons freshman year, first day in the high school, baby.
Absolutely.
All white Iversons, I mean, that's my boy. But we've never seen a shooter like Steph Curry, in my opinion. And
No. And I solely went scoring. So basically what I did, I was like, all right, who's the best scoring at each position? And I was like, AI, Kobe, definitely MJ, Bron, and then Shaq. I don't think, and you place anybody against Shaq, they're just simply not beating Shaq. It's not happening.
And Iverson, one of the best ball handlers, probably in the league scene, next to Kyrie and the sleeper, White Chocolate, Jason Williams.
White chocolate. White fucking chocolate. You know him and
he doesn't get enough love, bro.
You know him and Randy Moss went to the same high school.
Yes, I just watched that documentary again. What's it called? The one where he went to Marshall is the 30-30. Rand University, the
Yeah.
30-30.
My boy
And I
Randy
did.
Moss, he played basketball, football, and he ran track. My man was the ultimate
Stud.
athlete.
They kind of did him dirty, man. He got. That's when that fucking system was broke as fuck, dude. I mean, they that was some racist shit that was going on. He was getting some tough love for fucking no reason.
You talking about in New England?
No, when all that high school bullshit, when he was getting
Oh yeah.
they wanted him to go to jail for like a year because he failed a drug test or some shit. It's like I get he was on parole or whatever, it is, but Jesus Christ, man. It's just I thought he got kind of a fair shake of it, and I felt like a lot of it was, just that time the system hadn't figured itself out, and not saying it's a whole lot better now. It's just I didn't think he got a fair shake of it and he wasn't the greatest model citizen when he was in Minnesota either. So he deserved some of it. It's just kind of, I don't know, man, at 18 or whatever age he was, it was kind of, but talk about, I always argue Randy Moss has got to be up there in your top wide receivers of all time.
He's number 2.
Who's number 1? Jerry Rice?
Jerry Rice. Yeah, Jerry Rice is definitely number 1. Yeah. And I think the one that gets shit on a lot is Megatron because he left so early, but I think Megatron should be in the conversation as well.
And Julio?
Julio for sure. Terrell Owens because he was on so many different fucking teams, but he still put up numbers every team he went to. Yeah. He had Ryan Fitzpatrick in Buffalo. You know what I mean? Like,
yep. Right.
I can't hate on T.O., and he played for the Cowboys, so I have a special place in my heart for him. That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
Right.
I respect T.O. Julio, Calvin, definitely. People put Chris, what's his name? Chris, what's his name?
Carter?
What'd you say? Chris
Carter?
Carter, yes, they put him up there. I didn't see a lot of Chris Carter solely because that wasn't my era, bro. You know what I mean?
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
A lot of people put Chris Carter top 5, and I'm like, I'm not a big. I don't think you can put him up there when you have people like Megatron, when you have people like Julio, when you have people like fucking
I don't put Chris Carter
Jerry Rice,
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison was a fucking dude.
Reggie Wayne was a fucking dude. What about a lot of people sleep on Isaac Bruce and fucking Torrey Holt and them boys? I mean, I know they didn't put up near the numbers that they were putting up. I don't know. Chris Carter was dope, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I don't know. It's just, that's tough. I always love, me and my buddies do that top 5 shit all the time, like running backs and, quarterbacks and wide receivers and, linebackers. And it's always good to spark where you're on the same page with like 2 or 3 of them, and there's always an argument with like 4 or 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you have to put Jerry Rice at 1. I just believe you have to. I mean, even though I didn't watch him, but when you look at the stats, it backs it up 100%. I think you have to put Jerry Rice at number 1.
I don't know how you don't, but it helps when you have the quarterbacks throwing to you that he had.
Oh, for sure. Joe Montana and fucking Steve Young. You have
Steve
to.
Young.
Yeah,
and it's just, and who Randy Moss had in Minnesota. You had Dante Culpepper, which I guess he was kind of dope, but he wasn't no Steve Young or Joe Montana. It's just kind of those are the only 2 that I battle with. Like, I get the stats, but like let's say you take the stats out of it and you see those 2 at the combine. Who you drafted number 1? I feel like it's Randy Moss all day.
Megatron.
Okay.
Megatron.
Okay.
If
I like
there's
that.
a stat, so let's say we put 5 players up. You got Jerry Rice, you got Randy Moss, T.O., Julio, and Megatron. I'm taking Megatron over all of them.
And that's tough because they're all so similar. I feel like what you're taking at that point is mass, right? Calvin Johnson was a man.
Size, right? And speed as well. Yeah.
Randy Moss was built like a praying mantis. He was, but the dude was a freak. So it's just kind of, I guess when you look at it that way, they're all at a combine. I feel like it has to be Megatron. but I battle with the 1 and 2 of all time because I look at like, okay, who would I rather have? I'd rather have Randy Moss than Jerry Rice. And when I look at like you give Randy Moss, Steve Young, and Joe Montana, I feel like he pumps the same numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like he does.
And the main reason I would take Calvin Johnson over Jerry Rice, because Jerry Rice is like 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 200 pounds. And Calvin Johnson was like 6'6", 240, 230. I'm taking him over any, because if you know cornerbacks are not the biggest human beings in the world.
No.
I'm throwing that 50-50 ball every fucking time.
Yeah, especially not back then. I mean, they were fucking 5'10", and yeah, I mean, Megatron was another one gone too soon, dude. Between
for sure,
I feel like him in the last 20 years, him and Andrew Luck were your heartbreakers, right? Like just God, we missed out on two studs that the game just kind of ruined. And I mean, you got another one. What the fuck is it with the Lions and Barry Sanders, dude? There's another one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. Barry Sanders left early too. Yeah.
Barry Sanders, I don't give a fuck what anybody said. I know
he's the greatest of all time.
Yeah, and
he's the greatest of all time.
Walter Payton's number 2. I mean, it's gotta be right. Like,
it's hard for me to argue that, bro, for the same reason, the fact that I'm only 23. And I just never got to see dude play. I hear everybody talking about it. I see highlights, but you already know who my number 2 is going to be.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith, for sure. Without a doubt, 100%.
Yeah. Who's another? Yeah, for sure. That's the fandom coming out in me, right? Walter Payton. I don't think we've ever seen or will ever see another running back like Barry Sanders. When you look at them highlight tapes,
yeah,
it's
and he wasn't like a huge colossus of a guy either.
5'9", whatever he was. I mean, but he could go from full speed to stopping on a dime.
Yeah.
And it brings me to this next point. Okay, you know sports. I gotta ask you this. This drives me fucking up a wall. What do you think is the issue in the NFL today with these fucking injuries? I want your take on what you think is going on. Okay.
I think it's turf. This has to be turf. Turf. It can't be medicine or training solely because we have the best management of training as well as the medicine they put into these players. But I mean, I guess you could make the argument they had AstroTurf back in the day, which was even worse. Yeah. The injuries, I've really been racking my brain about it. One of them has to be turf.
That not a lot of people talk about. You know,
yeah, it has to be turf.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because you have to expect as we get better, as not only a football organization, but in a country in itself, it's like, okay, we have the best medicine. We have the training staffs that we need. We have the best food that they need. Best type of drinks, you know what I mean? The best type of weightlifting.
Yeah, for sure.
I honestly, turf is the only thing that comes to mind, solely because we've seen it day in, day out of these players not being able to plant their foot as well as they should be able to. Mm-hmm. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, watching Deshaun Watson, I believe they play on grass anyway, but seeing that snap the way it did, it's just like, well, how does that happen on where he's just starting to sprint? How does he just... Because you don't hear that in track. You don't hear sprinters tear their Achilles on the start of a track race.
And that's essentially when that Achilles is snapping.
Exactly. You don't hear that a lot in track. You don't see that in the Olympics or any of these track races. So, I don't know. Maybe are they putting themselves through too much stress to where their body isn't able to take it? Or, I mean, what? I don't know.
My argument is the opposite of what you just said. Are they not putting their body through enough?
Enough?
So, I get the turf thing. I'm not 100% like that's the main thing. But, you know, these fucking pussies don't do 2-a-days and 3-a-days. And I'm saying pussy, I'm using that term loosely because all these guys would fucking kill me. But
anybody hear the word pussy on there? Listen, we call each other pussies if we don't drink and finish a beer. So just don't take that too roughly, okay?
Right. But it's like these. I mean, some of the best athletes in the world, and you're pushing your body to a limit. I feel like sometimes you may not constantly be putting your body to that limit, right? Like, okay, my car, this might be a bad analogy, but my car can go 100 miles an hour, right? But I only speed it up to 100 miles an hour once a year, you know. So then my motor might blow, as opposed to, like, I look at it as just simply like training. They're not doing. Caleb Williams got like what, 30 snaps in the off season, a fucking 22-year-old rookie, and it's like,
Yeah.
So what, we're not that many years removed from where you would see the starters play the like fucking first half of game 3 and 4, to where now you see them play 4 series in the 3rd preseason game, and they don't play anything in the 4th, or I think what, there's only 3 preseason games. Either way, the last one,
3 or 4.
You only see him play 4 series or something, and a total of, like, depending on how your drives go, 20 snaps, 40 snaps. So I always battle with it, and I sit there and talk about it, because it's like, you look at Brandon Ayuk's injury. That dude got hit in the fucking knee. So his injury happened because somebody hit him in the knee. You look at Chris Godwin's injury last night. Roquan Smith rolls up on his ankle. Okay, that has nothing to do with whether you're using it or not. That's just bad tackling. But Deshaun Watson, okay, how much wear and tear has that dude put his body in the last 2 years? Fucking hardly none. You know, he was getting his taint massaged. He wasn't fucking, getting rough. So my thing is that I just feel like you're seeing a lot of injuries that, and I think maybe it's protocol weekly, but these fucking, Jesus Christ, man, every week it's like so-and-so has turf toe, or their fucking back hurts, and maybe it's because fantasy, we have been prone to check every week, oh my god, why is Amon-Ra St. Brown questionable? Okay, he's got a fucking tight hammy. Great. Or he's got a calf issue. Or maybe because 10 years ago we didn't really pay attention to that like we do now. Maybe that's why it seems like it's blown up so much. But me and my buddies have been talking about this. We're like, what the fuck is with all the injuries now? And I think it is when you're pushing your body to such a limit for 17 games. And you might even be taking a little bit of something to get you over that pain to make it through the game. My thing is how much wear and tear, like stress, are you putting on your muscles and your tendons daily and throughout the week to prep yourself for taking yourself to that limit? Like me, for instance, I don't do anything. The wife and I went out for a walk with the boys on Saturday. We walked over 3 miles. We went on this trail. I haven't walked over 3 miles in over a year. Like that, like in one stretch, walking a trail up and down. I got back home, my fucking right heel hurt. I told my wife, I said, I think I got plantar fasciitis, we're all joking around. And I said, but if I walked 3 miles every day or ran, that probably wouldn't bother me. So my thing is usage. How much are you putting your body through? These fucking walkthroughs. Okay, hand the ball off. Okay, 2-hand touch. And then you go out there 3 days later to get your fucking head rocked and you're out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the same argument can come from, you put your body through so much usage, you're like Zeke Elliott, and you're basically retired by the time you're 28.
Yeah.
Because you got used so hard. You know what I mean? Derrick Henry's 29. He runs sometimes like he's 40. Now, not this year, but last year with the Titans, it looked like that dude was ready to retire. So you can go both ways with it. Too much usage, you wear them out too quick. They might think, hey, if we don't work these dudes too hard, we might get an extra 5 years out of them. Well, then they end up getting fucking hurt a lot easier. That's my view on it. I just was curious what yours was. Maybe it makes no sense, but
no, it does.
I don't know if I'll know the answer.
I think preseason, when it comes to those type of games, should be absolutely thrown out. I'd rather see it more set up as in like it's our first team versus our first team, right? It's just like college. You have this type of spring game type of situation to it, where you play ones and ones the first game, second game you got your 2s and 3s. So I think it should only be a 2-game spread of preseason, and your 1s are going against your 1s. That way it doesn't. Not only does it help your team evaluate how well we are, especially if you have a good defense or a bad defense. But also, it's going to engage fans more often because they're going to want to watch an entire game of their offense versus their defense. And then it
Yeah,
goes into
100%.
full, like, you get full type of, like, ordeal of, like, speed and everything. And then you just kind of get into the feeling of it. And I think these preseason games kind of do the opposite. You get into a groove for like 5 plays and then it's over.
Yeah.
Preseason is boring to me. I hate it. I think preseason
Yeah,
sucks.
100%.
If you're gonna try to, your 53 man roster is gonna be decided on a preseason game. You knew that coming in, so I think it's a waste of fucking time. And I think they should do just like college does. I think that's what college does well, is they put their team against each other and see who's gonna fucking compete. Because I think that's the biggest fucking competition. I remember being in football in high school and playing ones against ones or twos against two, and that's when people really went after it because you're playing against somebody you want to embarrass and you want to make look bad. And I think that's what the NFL should go to. And do I think they will? No, but I think it'd be the best option.
Because these guys are investments at the end of the day, and I understand. I'm my own worst critic because I would be ferocious if the Bears let Caleb Williams play all of preseason game 2 and he got hurt for the season. So I'm my own critic to where I'm like, hey, dumbass, what if he gets hurt in the preseason? Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where I battle back and forth with it. I don't think there's any specific reason. I think, honestly, the most logical answer to the injuries is that the game has evolved to these freak of nature athletes. The game's faster. The players are stronger. They're doing things like we've never seen before. I think that's probably why the body's probably not meant to have these 240-pound fucking linebackers stopping on a dime on that knee every play to cut into a hole to tackle the running back, and ACL, like that kind of thing. So it's probably the logical answer. Me, it tells me like, hey, you're doing too many walkthroughs and rest days. Put these boys to work. They're making fucking $40-50 million a year,
Yeah, I would say yes and no because most of these players have been playing. I would say 90% of their lives they've been playing football, right? So they're actually used to that. So I think putting them in a situation where they're not playing actually deteriorates their body more than if they were not playing.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I just think I think we're it's just a bit too soft. I don't want to see a preseason game with fucking Trey Lance throwing the ball 50 times. No, I want to see what Dak Prescott has to throw the ball and see how he's doing after preseason. I don't care about Trey Lance. He's not going to touch the field, especially not this year because we're not beating teams by 30 points. So he's not taking a knee for us. So I want to see what Dak has to offer. I don't care about Trey Lance.
Right, 100%. I agree. Yep.
I don't know if the game is getting faster. Are these players getting softer? I don't fucking know. I don't know. If you talk to them, it's no. Like, these games are hard as fuck, and we're training hard. But I don't know. I really don't have an answer for that. I feel like there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot more than obviously we know, and that's just me being a couch fan. Is all it is, but it's just kind of. It seems like every year the injuries come more and more and more and more, and it's like you're not playing any more football than what they used to. I mean, I know you're adding more games. What, we're up to 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
So you are adding games, but through the first 6 weeks in the fucking season, every league in the last however many years played at least 6 weeks. So
yeah.
Why is it that it seems like every year we're getting more and more injuries? People like Jonathan Taylor, that fucker can't ever stay healthy. All that other shit. Julio Jones was questionable every goddamn week with something going on with that dude. He still played, but it was like, what's going on? Is it you're not putting your body through it, because you're not playing any more than what the guys in the 90s were playing. You're playing just as many games, shy of a few. But these guys, the difference, in my opinion, between the two was these guys were practicing harder in the 90s than they do now. Because they look at these players as Deshaun Watson, I have $230 million guaranteed invested in this human. I need him to be healthy. Because we paid him to be healthy. So I'm not running him ragged because I have him, paid him $230 million, So I don't know. It's a good
What
debate.
I think it is, honestly, I call it the Bo Jackson, because if you remember when Bo Jackson got seriously injured with that hip, where he had to get his, I think it was a full hip replacement. Mm-hmm. If it was a normal person taking that leg or taking that step, they said it would have been completely fine. Because he hit step with such ferocity, they said that's the reason it broke, and that's the reason he had so many issues. So we could be looking at a standpoint in human evolution where we're looking at it like, well, these humans are so goddamn big and so goddamn powerful that it just hasn't caught up yet. And these fucks, as soon as they take a step and they're pushing so much power out of these legs, they just fuck themselves up.
Right. I agree. Yep. I agree.
There's a lot that goes into it, but I hate the preseason. I absolutely can't stand it.
Yeah. I'm with you there. It does suck, and I don't think you're really benefiting anything, because like I said, I would be so pissed if we lost Roman Doomsday or DJ Moore or somebody, or starting offensive lineman, over a preseason game that means nothing. I think maybe practicing harder throughout the week. And again, I have no idea. I'm not a doctor. I don't know my ass from a hole in the wall when I just watch the shit. But I just don't think that they're practicing any harder than they used to. And it seems like you're getting more and more injuries every year. The safer they're trying to make the game, the more injuries we're getting. It's like, how? You're making the game safer.
Tell me this: would you be just as upset if they got hurt in a preseason game versus if they got hurt in training camp or practice?
Yes. Yeah, I would be. Yeah.
So like at the same time, preseason is basically just practice. You know what I mean? So to the same extent that you would be upset about someone getting hurt in practice, it's the same in preseason. So that's probably what they're looking at it as well.
Probably. I think I would be less mad if Caleb Williams got hurt in practice of leading into week 5. I would be less mad about that than I would be if he got hurt in the preseason. Because it's like, oh, he's practicing throughout the season. You got to practice so you can prepare for the next week. There's no choice there. But the preseason, he's going to be your starter. So like you said with the Trey Lance thing, I don't need, to see that. I'd like to see some of Caleb Williams, but I don't think you need to roll him out there for a full game and have some fucking try-hard third stringer rip his fucking head off. Because he's trying to make the roster. So, but if he gets hurt in week 4, after week 4 leading into week 5, getting ready, I would be less upset about that, because I'm like, you got to practice. Preseason, I'm good if you don't roll him out, because I would be scared of the injury, but you got to practice. So now if they said that, hey, Caleb Williams got hurt on his second day in a row of 3 days, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, you got to push him that fucking hard? That's where I would kind of battle that argument. But, it's like, hey, Caleb Williams tore his ACL on a non-contact injury on walkthroughs today. I'd be fucking pissed about that. But then again, if he's hurt himself, non-contact injury, he had something going on. It was going to snap at some point, So,
what would you rather see them do for preseason instead of just having these games that nobody cares to watch?
I like these team practices against each other.
Yeah.
I like those. I think those would suffice.
I think it would bring. They're looking for views too. I think that would bring the views, because you're looking into solely one actual organization, and all their fans are going to watch that. You can sell tickets, and you could have it at. You don't have to have it at a big stadium. You can have it at their practice stadiums and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, and I think what would make it more appealing is if you set up scenarios. each team does a couple rounds of 2 minute, 2 minute drives. See if they can score it
Yeah.
under 2 minutes. Set up those kind of scenarios versus another team to where the defense of your own team, oh, I know what they're playing, because we practice against each other every day. Line up against another team, and I know somebody would be like, well, that's a preseason game. The problem is with a preseason game is you can't roll your starter out there and automatically put him in a scenario. It's 14 minutes on the clock, so he's going to.
And you also can't roll out your entire playbook in a preseason game.
Right. Yep. Different personnel, different attributes that all these players have. I just like the idea of, if I was to do it, I would replace those with 4 different joint team practices that always end up in a fist fight. But I would do 4 joint team practices, and I would do it to where the coaches run it however they want, but it would be nice to see them set up scenarios.
Offense against defense, and then special teams versus special teams.
Yep. And I think, sounds dumb, but I think you probably put a red jersey on your quarterback. That's your franchise. Play it all the way to the whistle. I don't care if they grab him and drag him to the ground. Just don't hit the motherfucker. That's my thing. But the problem with that is, though, then your quarterback doesn't play scared, right? Because he knows he's not going to get hit. In the game, they're going to kill him. So that's a battle there. What do you do? But I don't know. That's probably my view on. I think that maybe the team practices would be a better thing in setting up scenarios to accomplish those things. I feel like you would get more out of that than you would preseason. Because preseason is fighting for roster spots. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Everybody's fighting for a roster spot. So
you can do that in camp. And like we talked about earlier, you can literally do that within camp. These coaches already know who they're going to fucking be signing. This is not something they're just guesstimating based on 4 games in the preseason. It's a waste of time.
Yep, 100%.
For sure.
Yep, I agree.
So, Beard, tell me this. What music are you into currently?
Oh, man. I like it all, brother. I really do. It depends on my mood. Country, the new age rap sucks ass. But country, rap, rock. I mean, dude, I love music, so I'm into it all.
Me too. Where are you from originally?
Now, Central Illinois. So we're
Illinois.
2.5 hours from Chicago, 2.5 from St. Louis. It was a town called Peoria, so it was right in the middle of Illinois. Now we're near Nashville, Tennessee. So
country music, fucking city, brother.
I work in Nashville, so
nice.
It's not about 8 blocks from Broadway.
Are you so you're into rap music a bit?
Oh yeah. I mean, Eminem's the GOAT.
Eminem's the GOAT. My brother Aaron will agree with you on that one.
Yes. I love him, but I love rap music.
Go ahead and drop your top 5 for me. I want to get you canceled real quick. So, what's your top 5?
Top 5 rappers. Okay.
Yeah.
Eminem, Tupac. Oh God, this is so tough. This is tough. Oh man, there's a lot of pressure on this one. I don't know, because I like so many different. I mean, I feel like you gotta have Lil Wayne in there, right?
Absolutely, I agree with you on that one.
I think you could put Drake up there if you liked just like how his voice sounded. I don't think he's I think he's got ghostwriters is my whole thing, so I don't really I like 50 Cent when he was with G Unit.
Unit.
Yeah, I mean that's the 50 Cent that I like. I mean, I feel like you got to put Biggie in there, even though I'm not a huge Biggie fan. I like some Biggie stuff, but yeah, dude, I don't know. I love T.I. T.I. was another one that I felt like was just...
That's crazy you say that, because he's such a big Southern artist.
Yep.
I didn't think he would be that big in Illinois.
Well, one of my favorite albums of his was Urban Legend.
Yeah,
And in case you forgot, I'm the king. Oh, dude, I love
yeah.
that. He's got motivation on there. One of my favorite lyrics that he does, but it's the song. It's called "Stand Up." I think it's got Trick Daddy in it.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's he say? He's like, you got an alligator mouth and a hummingbird ass. Your mouth write checks and
Hummingbird
your
ass.
ass can't cash. 145 and I'm out of your weight class. You want to survive, you better scramble like eggs and break fast. And I love that album's one of my favorites. I mean, I love that. But dude, like Do or Die back in the day was dope. Twisted was dope. You know, I mean, yeah, I feel like you gotta go Lil Wayne, Eminem, Tupac. Those are like my clear top three, and then yeah, that's where you get to 4 and 5, where you get canceled, brother. I don't know where I'd go. I like Ti a lot, and then I don't know. You can throw fucking. Kanye is pretty dope, but he's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I got to hear yours because there might be somebody I'm missing. I'm sure,
So
but
my number one all time favorite is Andre 3000.
oh yeah, duh,
Andre 3000 is my all time favorite. A lot of people
yeah,
argue, oh, well, he was with Big Boy and had a group, but his music he came out with and the features he came out with is top tier.
yeah,
And
no
I may
doubt.
be biased because I am in the South and he is an Atlanta native and that's cool, but Andre 3000, I got Kendrick Lamar at 2, Lil Wayne at 3,
Uh,
D- DMX at 4, and then J. Cole at 5.
J Cole's dope. Yeah, yeah.
And I
I'm
think
not as
I love DMX. The reason I don't think he was as big as everybody wanted him to be is because you had Tupac. And I think they had a lot of similarities, but I think DMX is one of the greatest of all time. One of the greatest of all time.
yeah, no doubt. I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's anybody that can match the the way Eminem uses his words and shit like that.
I love him. And the problem with Eminem for me is he's so fucking inconsistent with his
Yeah,
albums. And he comes out with these albums that are conceptual albums, like his Relapse album, for example, which people hated on when he dropped, but now everybody loves it. The Relapse album. And he came out with this accent and he was talking about being a rapist and it actually is one of his best albums, believe it or not, but he's just so inconsistent. Like his Encore album was amazing. The Slim Shady LP was amazing. The Marshall
yeah.
Mathers LP was amazing. The what was the other one? Not Encore. You have Encore and then the one with cleaning out my closet. I don't remember which one that was.
I'm not good
The
with
Eminem
albums. Yeah,
Show, fucking
yeah,
masterpiece,
yeah,
absolute masterpiece. But then you have some, like Revival was trash.
yeah.
His last album, Curtain Call 2, or not Curtain Call 2, what was it? His last album he came out with was garbage. Music to Me, Murder by was okay. Um, fucking the one with Kamikaze on it was fucking solid. Yeah, Kamikaze was solid, but he's so inconsistent with his albums. That's the main issue with me with Eminem. But Lil Wayne, he drops a fucking album, and that shit is fucking fire from front to back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's like I really liked that Trick Daddy's album Thug Matrimony.
Yeah,
That album was fire. I really liked that one. Obviously Urban Legend's probably one of my all-time favorites by Ti. That's an album for me that hits almost every song, right out the gate. I really love that one. And dude, I like one of my all-time favorite songs was "My Buddy" by G Unit, and
yeah.
dude, I mean, just I don't know what it was like that song. That was just one of the back in the days rolling around with 212s in the trunk, smoking weed, getting fucking, just cruising. Like that was the. It
In
seemed
the
like we
box
always.
Chevy.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It was just. I just like that. I like that older rap and but like Eminem's Joyner Lucas is another one that's like he's a sleeper, and I feel like he's solid. But there's a couple that I really like. Gone, like Gone's fucking insane. I don't know if you've heard of him at
I have
all.
never heard of. How do you spell his name?
Okay, have you heard? It's Gone in Tech Nine. Gane. Dude, the song is so fire. And someone said something that in the song he actually had a portion to where he rapped, he spit the fastest bars out of like any song. I think the song's called War, or This Is War. It's got him and Tech Nine. Dude, it is insane. And it is a sleeper song for sure. I even got my boys. They actually kind of like it. We jam to it sometimes, but I think it's this. Yeah, I think it's This Is War, and I think it's Gane is how it's spelled. I think that's how. I might be telling you wrong, but
No, it's called This Is War.
okay, yeah, that one there, fire, bro. It's a good song.
I can't tell this dude's ethnicity. Is he black, white? What is this guy?
He's white.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. No, he's white. He's definitely white.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. I
video,
saw the fade with the hair on top. He's white.
Yeah. The music video is dope, and Tech Nine just fucking goes nuts in that song. Tech Nine.
He always does. He's one of the best like underground rappers of all time.
Yeah. He has one. He has a verse in that song. And I can't remember 100% how it goes. He talks about the way the world is today. He said, "This world is so egregious. You should have had your fetus deleted." And like how
Jesus Christ,
dude. And he just, bars, and it goes nuts. And yeah, that's another good one. And another underground that I like Dax, dude. I think Dax is fire. I like
he's actually
shit.
Mexican.
Who is? Gone?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Grew up in Oak Park, Illinois.
Oh, Chicago boy.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. Like I said, check out that song. It might take a minute. I don't know. But it's fast. It's got Tech Nine in it, so they are just. He's going nuts.
Tech Nine's always fast. Every single one of his songs, Tech Nine is fucking fast, bro.
Yeah, he's insane. But yeah, Dax is another one. I really like Dax, dude. Dax has some good shit, and he. Oh man, I don't know why I was. Ice Cube's another one of my favorites.
Greatest diss track of all time, in my opinion. With No Vaseline, that's one of the. It's either him or Ether by Nas, bro. It's very close, but him or that Ether by Nas, two of the greatest fucking diss tracks of all time.
Yeah. Dude, Ice Cube he was raw, man. He was just.
God damn, I'm glad y'all set it off, boy. What?
Yeah. Dope man. Oh. Yeah.
And he wrote all those songs for fucking NWA, man. The dude's, and not only did he do that, but he also wrote so many movies. The dude's just a fucking perfectionist.
What's he saying in that Dope Man song? He says something like,
Dope Man, please, can I have another hit? Dope Man says shit. I don't give a shit if your girl knee her down and suck my dick.
That shit is so dope.
And he wrote that entire song. People don't understand. Like, I did a couple episodes where I was like, all right, I'm a rapper now, and I made a little rap song, like a 32 bar. That's just hard as fuck, bro. That's just not easy. That's just not easy, bro.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
That's just not easy at all.
Yeah, that's and to do it was what seemed like so easy for him. It's just kind of
no.
And Tupac seemed like another one that these and that they could go in. Lil Wayne's another one where they just Snoop, you just throw them in the booth and they go nuts. And
Yeah, no, Lil Wayne, when it comes to lyricist and how well he's able to put, like bro said one time, he said, "Farted on my wallet, call that gas money." Like, what the fuck? Hell
right,
yeah, bro, throw
yeah,
me in,
yeah, it's
throw me
insane
in.
how he does that. Yeah,
Bro's insane.
yeah, he is nuts. He is nuts. Yeah, those are some good ones. I mean, it's just I think nowadays you're seeing with the rappers nowadays is just the lack of creativity on wordplay, right? You
Yeah,
just like perfect example what you just said. I fart on my wallet and call it gas money. Who fucking thinks of that? But it's just makes
nobody.
so much sense. But you gotta be a fucking psycho like Lil Wayne, like an Eminem
Yeah,
to come up
no,
with those
one,
kind of
two I would
things.
want you to listen to who are fucking amazing, even in this new clickbait era of music, is JID. He is signed to J. Cole's record label, and then Corday. I think he's an independent artist. Actually, no. He signed to Dr. Dre, actually. Corday and JID. They kind of, JID's from Atlanta. I think Corday is from North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. But they actually like rap, and they're so good at it. JID has more of a, I wouldn't say Lil Wayne, but if you mix Lil Wayne and Kendrick Lamar, that's JID, and the Corday has his own type of feel to his music. But those two right there, when it comes to like new school rappers, by far the best when it comes to like lyricism and shit, like
I'll
for
have to check
sure.
them out.
JID, he came out with a one song called Surround Sound with 21 Savage. I'm sure you've seen it on TikTok.
Oh, I'm sure. JID. Oh, okay.
But him and Corday, by far, when it comes to new school, I try to stay. I mean, I listen to all old music. Al Green, Luther Vandross. I listen to a lot of old shit. But when it comes to like new school music and new rap artists, JID and Corday are by far the best. There's no one who even touches them by far.
I'll have to check them out. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
never.
for sure.
I don't think I've heard of them.
But yeah, those two right there are absolutely killing it right now. I love listening to those. There's not a lot of good new school rappers that come out who actually rap no more, but those two are fucking solid.
I got them saved on the Spotify now. I'm gonna check them out in the
Bet
morning.
up for sure. All right. Well, listen, dog. I think we've been at this thing almost 2 hours. I'm gonna let you
Almost.
go, let you get your thing going. I appreciate having you on, Beard. I
Oh,
will never
dude.
call you Ryant. I will never call you that because that's just weird at this point. I'm always gonna
Right.
call you Beard.
Dude,
How I always end all of my podcasts is I have my guests leave a little bit of positive aspect, positive vibes to my people. Any advice you want to give anybody, just to leave it on a positive note. Do you have anything out there for the listeners that are going to be listening to this?
yeah. First of all, thanks for thinking of me and having me on here. This was an absolute blast, and I know we've been working for a while trying to get on here with crazy schedules, and my dude, I could do this every day.
Yeah, no worries, but I appreciate having you on, dog.
There's plenty of things in this world and topics to cover if you get two people that can just talk and go through
We didn't even
things.
jump
But
into politics, bro.
and the next one, bro, and I'm all about that. Yeah, for sure, dude, that for sure. But yeah, I think I think what you're doing, anybody that listens can kind of see. I mean, dedication, hard work to something that you enjoy can be enjoyable, whether there's monetary value to it at the start, to begin with, and that's why I kept bringing up my stream. Is I've been playing video games since I was a kid, and I was just playing because I love to play, and then it turned into, well, hey, let's just throw a camera up and fucking
Yeah,
streaming things a thing, right? So let's try it out, and then it just snowballs into the next thing, and the next thing. Like, wow, people actually like watching this. People like listening. Okay, let's go. I'm providing now entertainment. So the thing that I learned, even though I don't do that anymore, is like I'm getting ready to take a class and get my real estate license, and trying to do things where I'm constantly trying to evolve, and I turned 36 today. So I think the thing is, the positive note is, no matter what it is you want to do, that took me a while to learn, is just do it, and you're only going to get out of it about what you put in. And the thing is that what I learned is, doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If you enjoy it and you believe in what the goal is, whether you're looking at it for monetary value, whether you're looking at it for enjoyment, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's something that you believe in, then you need to run with that. And I did that hard, but it took a lot of sacrifices that I probably shouldn't have made. My family's number one. That's where all my effort goes into. And, then you have to obviously have goals for yourself, because then I think at that point, if you don't set those goals for yourself, no matter what it is, whether it's something small, you're going to find yourself to where you don't, what's the meaning of life, and that's one thing I realized over these last few years is, God gave you one life. You get one chance at this life. You cannot go back. You don't get this time, and time goes like that. So, best thing I can say is what I've learned here recently over the last few years is be happy every day you wake up breathing, and try to achieve whatever goal it is, and understand that nobody's going to say, hey man, you didn't do it right the first time. Here's another life. Go live it again. You don't get that. You get this one chance. Live it up. Live it up and have a fucking blast. So that's what I got. Boring,
I appreciate it, brother. Well, happy birthday on your 26 plus 10. I hope you have a good week, brother. I appreciate having you on. And I appreciate you being for the segment on the Augusta Hemp Company Dumbass of the Week. Any of your pre-rolled gummies, or they also have tequila infused THC, as well as bourbon and gin infused THC. I appreciate you being on, brother. If you need anything, let me know, and I look forward to having you on again. Maybe we'll shoot to right after the election, so we can talk a little bit more about, that whenever it happens, see, what exactly happens. It's a fucking, I tried to steer away from that today because it's just so much fucking shit going on. But like I said, I do appreciate having you on. I know you got a busy schedule as well as I, but I appreciate having you on, brother.
I appreciate you, man. You keep killing it.
I appreciate it, brother. Have a good night. Happy birthday, brother.
See you, man.